Welcome to Slayerfest 98. I'm Ryan Houlihan.
I'm Carlos Crawford.
And I'm Zachary Patton Garcia, and we're here to talk about episode 4 of Slayers, a Buffyverse story on Audible.
Ooh, and before we get into the episode, Ryan and I have a little promo for our upcoming Halloween live show on October 29th. Doors open at 2 p.m. upstairs at the Stonewall Inn. And Ryan, what will you be performing?
Oh, you'll be seeing the music of Olivia Rodrigo interpreted by Anya. I would say many Anyas. To understand what I mean, please come see us. As well as you will be seeing a reading of the season 4 episode Fear Itself, which has been remixed, remastered, and there's a choose your own adventure element. So Get excited to vote. Exercise your right as a Buffy fan.
And my costume just came in today,
which
is a shirt. But it's a very accurate shirt, as both of you have seen in the text I sent you. And my costume is Oz, because I'll be playing Oz, because why not play my dream man? And it'll be a lot of fun. It's at Stonewall.
And I heard that Olivia Rodrigo herself is going to be there. And with glory holes.
I heard that.
3 glory holes.
Allegedly.
The surprise is Zach is on the other side of the glory hole.
Yes.
And also, I wanted to give a little shout out to our Patreon. Any and all support is much appreciated. It helps keep this little queer podcast going, and you can get access to Zach and I did a sex talk show for about 2 years called My Nudie Judy. We covered Firefly, we covered Harley Quinn, and we will be covering the next season as well. We're starting to kick off our Batman the Animated Series coverage, and you get access to our watch-along parties and our Discord and private Facebook group. So check that out. And all right, what did we think of episode 4, Zach?
I was into it. I think I can't remember if it was this one or 5. It might have been. I think it was actually this one that I felt a little bit of a lull, just a tiny bit, but it was still fun. It was okay.
Ryan?
There's stuff in here I like. This is a very exposition dump heavy chapter, and I don't think we're yet seeing the fruits of the groundwork laid in the previous episodes, and this goes on a bit with telling us stuff rather than showing us stuff. But I do think we get Amber Benson really her portrayal of Tara, I think, is starting to smooth out at this point really well. And I appreciate that a lot. And it the Kurgan stuff, we'll get to it, but it's thick. We don't know this person, so we're hearing a lot about someone that we've never met. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think the thing with Amber Benson's, it's not. I don't know if it's so much the performance as it is for me. That every time she starts talking, it is explaining a whole lot, and that gets a little tiresome. I feel like by now we've gotten an explanation of a good Tara hiding inside 4 times or something is what it feels like. So I don't know.
We get more and more clarification as if it's a reveal, but it's just there's not enough there for me to be oh, okay, this is worth talking about again.
Yes, I would agree. A little exposition-y. We have a lot of threads. There's a lot of threads.
Which is weird because so much of this exposition doesn't need to be this complicated. As the asshole who has listened to the whole thing twice at this point, you could have smoothed it out and hit most of the same beats. So I don't know why we're doing it. It's not terrible. I like the characters and it's just not my favorite. It's not a standout chapter of a thing that doesn't have a ton of chapters. But I guess for what they wanted to do, they have to get a lot of this out of the way. And obviously, Olivia being a joy. I don't want to just be a drip. Olivia's a joy.
I love Olivia. I wonder if so when they pitch this thing and then they sign on, Audible signs them for it, right? I wonder if they're signed for a specific number of chapters, and that's why maybe they're doing this, or if just
maybe I feel like they gave them a budget number.
Okay.
And they said, negotiate in as much as you can get out of it.
I feel like you would have more experience with this, so you tell us. What do they do?
Yeah. I think, I think they probably put a rough guideline on it. Okay. You know, they were like, we don't want 2 chapters, but they were also like, you can't give us a 100 chapter Anna Karenina. Because we have to sell this.
Amber Benson was ready.
Yeah, totally. I do feel Christopher Golden could write Anna Karenina, a Slayerverse story or whatever. But I think they probably gave them a budget and then they said, do what you like with all this money. And so they broke up their budget, you know, like producers do. And they knew they could get a certain amount in. And I will say, I do think you could either have added 5 episodes and expanded some stuff, or you could have cut 3 and it still would have worked. Mm-hmm. And I will say, as much as I may be a drip on this episode, it does all start to come together. And I do see why it's laid out the way that it is episodically, if that makes sense.
Okay, that's fair. So I think I might have said this in the last episode. It does feel at some points a little video game level where it's like, all right, you got to go get the thing to then go to the big thing and then defeat the bad guy. And I feel like we're building towards Drusilla and then Kiergan as like Kiergan's like the main baddie, or like I don't know, but so
which is exciting.
Yes,
I think so, right? But then we have to go get Giles, and then we have to find a compass. Right. I get what you're saying. Yes,
a lot of the monster of the weeks, and those were what the episodes were when we had 22 episode seasons.
Right.
But even the plot heavy serialized episodes of the original show, there were metaphors for something.
Right. Yeah.
And we do get there again. And spoiler alert, this is really good in the end. And I think there's some really great stuff, but there is nothing in this stuff so far that is a metaphor. It's mostly just getting a gang together, but not even for something we even know what it is. It's not like a heist movie where we're like, well, we're going to need a hacker and you get Rihanna. Like you need, I don't know. We need something in each episode or something with each of these tasks we have to do that is itself interesting. And popping through like a porthole in the magic box to get Giles isn't interesting. And it seems like it could have been accomplished in a number of ways that don't require so much running around. But at the same time, I do understand that from a writing perspective, sometimes you just want to be like Scooby-Doo and have people running in and out of different doors so that you can do what you want to do. I just think we're leaning into that a lot in this episode.
It could have been a character heavy episode, right? Like this, what this could have felt like, because it feels like there should have been some heavier beats with Giles, but he kind of is. They get him, and then he's just in it, and they're looking for the compass, and there's a dog, and he's making little jokes, and
I like that we got Giles being like, you're not my Anya, and this is inappropriate for you to barge into my life and make demands. Like
that could have been longer, though.
Yeah, totally. I appreciate that we got a note on it, and I do appreciate seeing his perspective on it, because it does make sense with Giles, because he is about rules and stuff. But, how long's that going to last before Mr. Big Softy melts?
I will say I did think about that with y'all's point of like, well, Giles could have been a little bit more excited. I was glad that we did give an explanation why he wasn't that excited, because he knew that this is not. I still
don't like it. Because this is where we are. We jump into the episode and they are still there. They've just gotten to Giles' house, right? And that's where we left off. And last time we were talking about this and how I said I really wished that Giles could have taken a moment where he was kind of surprised, kind of shocked to see Anya's face in front of him, right? In the flesh. And we quickly skirt past that, and Giles is like, yeah, you aren't my Anya. Just like you said, you can't come in here barging in. But I don't like that. I don't like it. Giles is a little bit of a softie, and Giles would have been, doesn't matter how many years have gone by, this is Anya's face in the flesh. That would have been jarring to see. And I wish we could have gotten the feel of how jarring maybe that would have been for him. But I guess they're telling us it wasn't jarring for him, so
yeah, I guess
fuck me, Zach.
I do love that we learned that him and Olivia are married, which is he deserves.
Oh my God, what do you think he wore? I know what she wore. What do you think he wore?
Plaid.
Yeah.
I feel like he had a tweed wedding suit. I feel like they would have had she would have had something super high fashion, but not
understated, but very expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like she would have been okay, and he would have been fine with a blazer with a button, like a collared shirt that's like not fully buttoned and no tie.
And
like,
it happened like in like a spot that's like a little bit more low key, like where Willow killed that deer that one time, like something like that.
Yes.
No, like a series of things went wrong, different misadventures, and he was so frustrated.
Give us,
and they didn't
my
tell her.
gosh, Ryan, you just gave us
it.
the Audible series that we need.
I'll do it.
That's what I want. Give us a prequel series of the weekend of Giles's wedding. Chaos ensues. Buffy's given jokes. Has to get up on stage again.
Everyone's trying to make this thing get pulled off. That is clearly
make it
not
fucking
going
happen.
to happen.
Make it fucking happen, please.
And then he's got to apologize to Olivia and be like, "I will be leaving this behind, I promise." And she's like, and then she finally like cracks and she's like, "Okay, blah blah blah." And then they go ahead and do the ceremony in an unexpected yet surprisingly chic location, and Willow does the lighting with magic.
I was gonna say, do you think like Buffy absolutely was invited, but do we think all of the Scoobies were invited, or like just Buffy and maybe Willow?
No, all of them
no,
were.
everybody got an invite except for Andrew. He was furious. He was still there.
Yeah,
I even think by the time they did get married, Andrew would probably be in the fold.
Of course.
Oh my gosh, is everybody there though? I would think so. Dawn has like a special little role in it. I keep thinking of her as 16 still, but she's a grown woman now.
Right.
She's an elder as well.
She's like close to my age.
We've got to let her grow up. We're still not letting her grow up either.
Faith sent a basket of sex toys.
She did. She did not show up, but she just care about Giles. But like sent a little something, right?
Yeah, she sent
weddings just aren't for me,
Yeah. Yes. She's like, oh, didn't want to be there, but I am happy for you. Like something like that. God, give us a flashback to the fucking wedding. God, I would love that.
I don't want a flashback. I want exactly what Ryan just proposed. It was a full series. A little of that weekend, please.
I do feel like going through this, because there's so much, and they did such a good job of like bringing back characters. We get another character brought back in this episode, that I do feel like they could do one-offs, or like just 2 episodes, or like an anthology, like, oh, these 9 episodes, it's anthology in the Buffyverse, and each one of them is like different, and one of them is Giles's wedding. Like, I would love that, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, we learned that Giles is married. And I will say, to your point, Zach, I did get a little like, all right, come on. Like, Giles would help them. He would, of course, be like, I'm like, what do you think, Olivia? Like, he would discuss it with her, but I don't think he would be like, no.
I see the hesitation. Again, this is so much time later. I do see the hesitation. I see him very much like looking over to Olivia first, and that being his reminder that no, I said no, that I wasn't doing this, and it would take a look. Like, we have our little beat that would happen in any episode, any TV show, where you have to convince him to go and like exorcise the little girls who are possessed by the demon, right? So it's fine. Okay. We had that little moment with Anya calling him a coward though, and it felt like it was trying to be like her, when she would give her speeches about death or like something.
Yeah.
I don't know, and it didn't land for me.
I do like Indira. I very much am charmed by Indira fangirling, and when she's like, she says what an honor it is to work with Giles, because like I feel like Giles, I mean, there are very select few, which won't even get into, but Giles is like probably the most universally beloved character aside from Buffy. Like, you know what I mean? There's not much like this debate over if Giles is like a good surrogate father to Buffy. You know what I mean? Like, we all are like, no, that's dad. Like, in whether it's also sexy, but like mostly it's like, that is like the father of the group. He is the one we all like feel comforted by. We love him. So I don't know. I feel like it makes sense that Indira would be fangirling over this, like, older gentleman as like, oh my God, I know who you are. Because I do think he would still be beloved by all of them. Right.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. We get Clem, Cordy, and Spike. Spike says his phone went dead. And I was like, all right, I guess he would have a phone. At this point, I was a little lost as to how Cordelia knew Giles, but later we do get that solved. Because I was like, was he her watcher? Because she seems to know him, but she didn't say it. Whatever. She says, My God, my notes are confusing me.
Get the calculators out. Let's go.
Because my notes say, she says if this girl is anything like hers, Anyanka doesn't stand a chance. And I'm like, who are we talking about?
I guess. Sure. We all remember when Cordelia, created a bunch of Slayers.
Right. So then, they're making fun of Clem's car, which I know nothing about cars. So I was like, oh, right, that's supposed to be funny. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's supposed to be like, it's a crappy car, right? That's why they're like making fun of him, like calling it a classic.
I know, and like, leave Clem alone. Clem has hobbies, okay?
Yeah. Like, the guy's just trying to vibe here.
Right? He's
did you not want the
every
car?
moment of his fucking life. He can't have a nice little beater. That's fine.
Oh, you didn't want a car. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then we won't use my car. Bye.
Shit.
Ryan, I love the idea of being like, oh, you don't like it? Great, I'll leave. Okay.
I wish he would have just like...
I guess you'll teleport. Bye.
So what is it? Oh, then she asked Clem how old he is, and she's saying like he looks 100, and he's like, he says something like, oh, then I don't look my age, which I thought was clever.
I like the idea that Clem gets Botox, but this is the best we can get.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I love the explanation for why his skin is saggy too. Like, this is a lot of like filling in that we needed from the show. It's real fun stuff.
Remind me why. I know that they do say why.
He's like a puffer fish. He like blows up.
Oh, right.
Like expands, I guess.
Same.
Ryan.
Sorry, I've had a tummy tuck.
We then see that Miranda's fellow Penthos demons have shown up. Then we cut to Giles. This scene was like a little weirdly stilted. So Anyanka has shown up and she's like there to attack them. And he's like, "Can I answer the phone?"
We need to talk about
this was cute.
Yeah, we need to talk about Anyanka for a second. I had hopes because they really built her up as this baddie who was so angry and so vengeful that she built a literal body from ash, right? But then the way she interacts with everybody and like waiting for him to take a call or like kind of like standing, what?
Right?
Should be slaughter them.
Yes.
I mean, it's still Anya.
This is supposed to be Anyanka. This is supposed to be
I get it, but
baddie.
Even she was a little silly Billy. No, I hear what you're saying. I think maybe like I'm not going to try to justify it. I think maybe it was just we really needed a moment of levity, especially out of Giles.
Yeah.
At this moment.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. It's just I was like, what is the placing here? Like, where are they that he's like, okay, I can answer the phone. Is she not threatening them? Was she just like, she walked in and was like, hey guys, I'd like to kill you all. What do you think?
Wait in the waiting room for us. Fill out this form, okay? Fill out your patient intake.
I think by instinct, Giles and Anya went behind the counter. And so she was in there and it was like, all right, well, like anyone else who comes into the store, I need you to take a minute. Okay. I'm counting down the register.
I mean, I do like that Anyanka is like, he actually answered the phone. Like, she is annoyed that he answered the phone. I also, I'm like, who worked at a bookstore in this? Like, who wrote this? Like, Christopher Golden is an author. Like, Amber Benson is Amber Benson. I'm like, who worked at a bookstore? Because all of their, like, interactions with, like, bookstore-ness is very accurate. As someone who worked
Listen, we've all had retail jobs, have we not?
Like,
I was at a Banana Republic.
When he's
That's
like
fancy though.
But he's like,
you'd think it was the outlet, and it was the holiday seasons only, so it was bedlam.
Oh my God. I know, I've been like, I should get another job. Teaching doesn't pay that well. And I'm like, I will fucking melt and die if I go to retail during the holiday season. Like,
no. You wait that shit out for February.
But when he like has to tell this person that like, when he's like, no, Mr. Martin's books has not come out yet. Like that George R. Martin's new, that happens when you work at a bookstore. Like we would get calls like, oh, well, the new George R. Martin. And it's like, no, there is no new one. Like, what do you like? And they'll get mad at you and be like, yes, there is. I saw it online. And it's like, no, you didn't.
Oh, that's me calling today saying, Walmart, do you have a copy of The Woman in Me in the back, maybe, that you can sell me early?
But that is more understandable. You want it like it is a book that's coming out. But that probably has a SOS, like strict on sale date, I'm sure.
It accidentally, a few copies were sold in Mexico a week early, and I was like, God, thank God for Mexico. Now I know how big Justin Timberlake's penis is. Not big.
Because like I remember even like, you know, She Who Shall Not Be Named series ended, I would get people being like, well, where's the 8th one? And it's like, there is no 8th one. What are you talking about? And they'd be like, no, I read it on Facebook. And I'd be like, where? Like, so that happens.
You're looking for archive of our own.
Yeah. I'm like, well, there's a website. You are too young. Make sure you make sure you take off the porn filter or put on the porn filter. But yes, so I did like that. We then get Indira, then Indira does fight Anyanka, which is weird pacing, right? Because it's like, they were just standing there.
And I can't visualize the fight either. I was having a lot of trouble. Yeah.
And
in my mind, Indira's fighting is haphazard. Like, it's my first day, so like there's a lot of like throwing a punch and landing a punch, but just like into a wall of stuff that it did not need to go.
Sometimes you just gotta windmill your arms and just hope you hit something.
Every time I've been in a fight, my first instinct is to kick, because I'm like, that's far away from me.
Yeah. We learned that Anyanka, she wants Anya's face. She says she'll make their deaths pointless, but then Indira kicks her ass. And I appreciate that. I appreciate Indira being the one to kick Anyanka's ass, right?
Oh, Indira's been waiting, right? Yeah. Punching pillows in a room.
Indira basically grew up the way we grew up, but just in a world where they were real, but she was like practicing to be a Slayer.
like a poster of glory over a dartboard.
Me in my yard punching trees, pretending they're Rita Repulsa. She's
got like her like Beyonce, Lady Gaga, and like Buffy Summers posters on her wall, which is still.
I need the flashback of her deciding what her Slayer look is going to be. Like in trying on clothes and coming up with a curated set.
You're right,
look.
Because she would think about that, right?
Oh, I would.
Oh my God, Cordelia totally did that. She was like, I don't have to buy so much leather.
She's like, oh, Dad, I got a calling, so I do need to go clothes shopping. I need to buy new outfits for Slay.
I cannot explain to you why I need a chainmail top. I just need a chainmail top.
So then they escape through their like tunnel and, go back to Sunnydale.
Sure.
Then we cut to Tara, and who is she torturing, Ryan?
She is torturing Amy Madison, who, by the way, is played by a different actress, but I didn't know.
Is it really? Great. Okay, we talked about this. Me and Ian talked about this a couple days ago.
Yeah, apparently the original actress wanted to retire. She does not want the public spotlight. So, like, cool, rock on.
It wouldn't have given her the public spotlight. It would have been fine. You could have done it. Okay.
You could have done it from your phone. No, I'm not. Whatever you want to do.
Voice notes. No, not whatever you want to do. We have certain these people owe us them.
It's weird that they didn't just change it to someone else then, right?
Huh. Oh my God, what if it was what's her face from Conversations with Dead People?
Oh my gosh. I would have loved it though, I have to be honest. I did love her. I did love her.
I love that actress. I really do. Her voice is mesmerizing.
They should have just done Rat Amy then, just
oh my God.
Little squeaks.
Well, you know what? That stupid monkey should be Rat Amy.
Ryan, you are just coming up with these left and right. I'm going to pull up my notes app and we're going to start writing things.
Amber Benson put me in, coach. I am ready to write the next one. I'm not joking. I will work for basically pennies. Let's do this.
Hire the three of us. We all would love to do it.
I don't need just give me a McDonald's Big Mac and I'll sit and watch them do it. I just want to be in the room.
It doesn't even need to be a full Big Mac. You could take a bite out of it.
Sure. Mr. Pickles, yes, give it to me.
One Big Mac for the three of us. We're like, yes, that's fine. That's great. Great payment. We'll fly out. Yes, I'll pay for myself. I got it. So yeah, that's so funny. I really just assumed it was the same actress. And I was like, wow, she sounds really different.
I know it. I just said she's older, sure. Because I haven't been like shitting on any of these voice performances.
Yes.
I've been like, anytime I'm like little slightly off on one, I'm like, well, it's been a long time. Fine. Who cares?
Yeah.
And people are getting older and like it literally does change how you speak. Yeah. And like, I mean, talk to a trans person about voice, like there's a million factors that go in, and but I think everyone sounds remarkably good. Like people could listen. I have heard people's voices go from "Hey, blah, blah, blah," to like this in the reboot. Like for real, people smoke a lot more than you would think in Los Angeles. So I think everyone's held up pretty great, and I think the woman who's playing Amy's great. I think everyone's doing a great job. I think the only thing that's difficult is that some of us are way more practiced at audiobook stuff than others of us, which is fine because we all get there in the end, and like. But I think that Indira is just so good at being in an audiobook.
Yes. I think that actress is like very, I mean, I looked her up and she's done a bunch of like Disney Nickelodeon cartoons and that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Because she comes across, and I feel like everyone else almost like has it easier because like, I don't know, it's still them, right? So like, even if like, oh, maybe it doesn't bother me because I'm like, it's them. This is the actor that played that character. You know, and Giles, like someone like Anthony Stewart Head, who, and this is no shade, people get older, sounds older, right? And that's okay because I want Giles to be able to age in that universe. We want him.
It's okay to age everybody. Yeah. Everybody poops and everybody ages.
I mean, except me. Let's be clear. Let's get one thing clear.
Except
I will spend my husband's money any way I like, okay?
You're like, I had my asshole sewn up, thank you. I do not poop. I have a bag.
Ooh, recommend me to your doctor.
I went to the dermatologist yesterday and I was like, will my insurance cover dermal filler? And she was like, maybe. So follow up with me on that by episode 6.
I like by episode 6.
By the live show, you'll see me. You'll see my appearance. What am I going to look like that day?
Anya's going to look pumped. Okay. Anyway.
So, yeah, we get the Amy scene. We mentioned Ethan Rayne, and I was like, oh, that actor's not alive. So I was like, oh, good. I'm glad we're not like recasting him, although they recast Amy, so whatever. But yeah, I did kind of like the turn here. This is like the first time when Tara feels like evil. Tara does feel kind of evil, I think.
And she slides into it a little bit. Like we get some curling of what she's saying, but for most part, it is Tara's in there. The beginning was a little too like dark lady laughs and dances. Yes. You know what I mean?
Yes, I agree with that too. I kind of thought we were going to get like, she feels bad and lets her go. That's what I thought we were leading to. But that is not what happens. She fully drains her. And yeah, I do like, Amy has the line that like evil Tara is a tumor that's self-aware. And does she kill Amy or does she just, cause like Amy doesn't want the Ethan Rayne treatment where she drained him and let him go.
I thought it was implied that she's dead now.
Right. Okay. That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. Because right. She says she doesn't want what Tara did to Ethan Rayne.
Until episode 6 when she pops up again, right? Just gotta stop Tara.
To be fair, Zach and I have not listened to episode 6, so that's not a spoiler.
Not yet.
She's gonna pop up and she's gonna say, "You look pumped."
I don't want Amy back then. No more Amy because I didn't like. I like Amy as our resident baddie witch. I don't like anything else. I don't care if it's another universe, another reality, nothing. I don't give a shit. Amy would have had that grimoire downloaded to her Kindle. You know, like she'd have been studying that shit already.
Yeah, I feel like yes. I mean, ever since you said it, Ryan, I'm like, yeah, just Amy should have been her familiar as a rat. Like, yeah. Anyway, so
then we didn't let her speak. You know what I mean? Give the rat a speaking voice. Who cares?
We go back to Spike, Cordy, and Clem. The Penthos demons are all there. The one Esther was her name, right?
Sure.
The one that's Miranda's like to be betrothed.
She was my betrothed.
See, this is a perfect example of like
acting, man.
This is to me a perfect example of like, well, just keep Miranda in the plot. Yes. Why did we have to like this? Is just needlessly convoluted. Miranda as a character, I thought was going to come up a lot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Oh, like, I did too. Yes.
Now she's gone. So
I thought she was going to be like a lover for Spike at one point, and I was kind of into it because I'm like, give Spike another vampire lover, right? Like, I'd love to see something like that,
or like hot demon. Like,
because I was picturing Miranda hot.
Yes, me too. There is such a random 90s comic book character that I can't remember the name, but she is who I was picturing for Miranda. It was like one of the like Image or Valiant comic characters. So I don't even, if someone listening knows, I'm going to describe her. She had like, I mean, it was a 90s character, so of course she was very booby. She had like a low cut, like green dress and like a gold headdress headband thing and black hair and very like vampire pale skin and maybe purple eyes. And I remember
that was me.
that was Ryan in 1997. And I just remember we had an action figure of her at the comic book shop I worked at. And I would always be like, oh, she looks cool. But I don't fucking remember. Anyway, that's what I pictured for Miranda. So yes. But it's also weird that like Cordy, I was like, oh, so Cordy killed her, but then Cordy does not. She just beat her up with a bat, and then she comes back, and then she dies.
I love that Cordy is running around with the bat.
Yes. Like, yes, very much so.
Keep that as her Slayer. The Slayer one, yes.
Yeah. So, you know, they have their fight.
Oh my God, wait, sorry, pause.
Yes.
I just imagine a scene where Cordy's running around with a bat, and someone makes a crack about like a grand slam, and she's like, I don't watch baseball. Why do people keep asking me that?
She like Hillary Duff said, don't let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game.
She's like, I have to stream a League of Our Own. This is so weird.
All right, continue. I'm just thinking of all the Bat movies now.
So Spike, I'm a little unclear what happens here. Spike convinces them to feed off Clem because he knows Clem will, like you said, inflate. But I was
pretty clear on this. I thought this was like one of the moments in the series so far that had like I was perfectly visualizing all of this.
Yeah.
I just kept picturing you know the scene in Beetlejuice where he's like the long snake. Like, that's what I kept picturing, and then I was like, no, but he's, like, bloated, so he's, like, inflating.
Oh, I pictured it like a puffer fish, but a little more, like, agile, like a big...
Yeah, I pictured it more like camera cuts away from him. We see Spike and Cordelia's reactions as they're describing it. And then we cut back to him, and he's, like, bringing his jaw back in, and he's like, oh, don't ever make me do that again. I told you I didn't want to be that person.
To me, it's like pufferfish meets Stretch Armstrong. And yeah, we're not getting a full picture of it because there's no way even in my mind of the Buffyverse that like the practical effects would be too funny and the CGI would be too campy. But I think like I can picture it. I also think like it needs to be the monster, the larger monster form needs to be entirely based on Clem's actual face. Like it should not transform into like a lanternfish. It should be a giant monster with Clem's normal head and face, like increased in size, but his general expression.
The ears, you still got the flappy ears. Yeah.
I mean, I do like this visual, but so like, I guess I don't understand what them like they were feeding on him, but they're not vampires, right? Don't they feed on like sadness? So I was like, I can't picture what's going on.
Yeah, I pictured it more like vampire, but I guess that makes sense that they're not because she is Black Penthos demon. But
siphoning of emotions, like like a smoke that comes out of Clem of sadness that they're like.
But
it's like Winifred Sanderson, like.
Yeah. Yes, okay. Yes, exactly that.
That's fair. I guess it's like, when we talked about Anyanka, I guess here, no, neither of you were there. Damn it. The last Angel season 2 recording we did, and it's like about Lorne and how like no one knows what kind of demon he is. And I'm like, why hasn't that come up? Like, it feels like demons usually know every single demon. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. It's like,
we need to get Kirsten White's Slayer's encyclopedia in here because then we could reverse look up what kind of demon we're dealing with.
Yes, because I do feel like if this demon is an anomaly and no one knows it, like that should be mentioned, right? It should be like, that's weird. I've never seen someone who looks like that before. But whatever, that's fine. That's a minor, stupid nitpick. So Clem eats all of them, right?
Yeah.
Like so many kittens.
Burps them out. And I like that Spike is grossed out and Cordy's like, oh, suddenly you're a delicate flower.
Yeah.
Cut back to Tara and Drusilla. Mr. Pickles is throwing a fit. Does not like Drusilla. I do like her calling Mr. Pickles a rat.
If only. Yeah, Mr. Pickles doesn't work for me. Never going to work for me. I get it. I get that it's not as weird as I'm making it out to be. Like, it's very Golden Compass, but no. Also, no. I don't like it at all. The Drusilla, though, of it all, God, she is so great. What a performance. I am right the fuck back in the 90s, bitch. I am like, this girl is a slay. I will watch her do anything. I love her so much. The performance is so good. And something about it had to be Drew. It had to be Drew. The bad guy had to be somebody like Drew, and I can't think of anybody else besides maybe Glory who would have fit.
No, I
and
agree.
it is such a delight. Oh
yeah, and Juliet Landau, like, and this is no shade to anyone else because like we were all saying, like, anyone who's, some people have, like, had critiques of the voices, they don't bother me. I'm like, yes, they're older. Juliet Landau sounds like she just stepped out of, like, her last episode of Angel. Like, this does not feel like she did not miss a beat at all. And I do think she sounds genuinely exactly the same.
Yeah, this is great. The performance is all great. The only thing I'm getting a little irked with is just this constant meeting between Tara and Drew, which, like, should be great, right? But then, like, a lot of it feels very same-ish.
Yes.
Yeah, why not use the time?
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, like, give me more Drusilla fighting. Like, I don't know. We're making, like, nods. We're in Sunnydale, right? So it's not, and, like, Zach, I know sometimes you and I can, like, both not love an homage to something, but, like, this is an alternate reality and they are in Sunnydale. Have her, like, going out to, like, kill someone. Sure, have her chase. I mean, Harmony's dead. We learned that Harmony's dead in this universe, but, like, bring a character like Harmony back to give her a chase scene that Drusilla's like, oh, I found these, like, everyone at this cafe and I'm going to eat them all. And,
it's
like,
so
Harmony,
wild that I guess we get that in the next episode. So sorry. Or we won't do spoiler. Never mind. We'll visit. But, like, a character, right? That they didn't bring her back.
Yes.
Okay. Well, two things. One, Mercedes McNabb. Let's personally, each of us, try to call her today. It's retroactively get her in there.
I've heard the same thing about her that you said about the actress who played Amy Madison, that, like, Mercedes McNabb did want to retire.
Okay, great. That's acting. This is voice work. Come back. You're okay.
But I also would say, I wish that we would have used this Tara and Drew time to sell me on them as a couple, because I don't think that's impossible to do. And I don't feel that it is well accomplished so far or later. And this is the only suspension of disbelief I truly have had to do. Everything else I can totally get on board with. But I wish that, and you're right, Ian, if we had some, like, echoes of other universes, clearly that's part of the, like, how the dimensions are working. And, like, that's part of, like, different things shadow different things, but differently, not, like, better or worse, just, like, a different reality. So why not give us, like, allusions to things her and Willow did together and show that, like, yeah, Tara totally falls for girls with magical dark sides who will enrapture her into a world of their own and give her some kind of escape from a reality she might not want to be part of. Like, that sounds like exactly like a girl who would fall in love with a vampire, and also what she did with Willow. And, like, I like a girlfriend who's kind of violent and out of control, but keeps, like, bringing you back in and manipulating you. Like, that's totally something you could sell me on very quickly with some shorthand from the original show. And I get we don't have time to develop this relationship, but you could really sell me on the concept with one date between them, with one really great moment of their day-to-day lives. I can't picture what they do together. They swan around a castle and talk about their plans in different dresses. Like, I don't know what they're up to.
I don't even picture different dresses. I picture the same damn dress, same damn tower, same Mr. Pickles. Like, it's all very same. And they're not... Yeah. What do you watch together? Do you have a Netflix account? Or,
but again, once this is out of the way, we don't have to do it again. And so, like, I'm like, whatever.
Next episode, I like what we get next episode.
Yeah. But we haven't listened to the
we're not there yet.
So, I don't mind it, but I do agree with both of you. Like, it doesn't really bother me, but I think the thing that isn't selling, I think the thing that would sell the three of us more is if evil Tara was evil, right? And, like, her, like, well, I don't want to kill Anya and Cordy. It's
she should be out eviling Drew to sell me on Tara McClay being the supervillain.
Yes, like the nicest character in the Buffyverse.
Period. And let's talk about Anne. What about Anne, though?
True. So then we go back to, we end with, like, she really doesn't, like, Drew really wants to kill Anya and Cordelia, and, like, Tara does not. That's where we leave them. We go to Giles. and Anya and Indira in the magic box.
This is where I liked the fangirl stuff that you were talking about earlier, right? Because this is exactly like, oh, you don't remember your own history? Giles, I will tell you. I will fill you in, right? Wesley comes in here because you were the Watcher initially, but then they brought in Wesley, right? And you remember when you left Buffy in the house and she didn't have no powers and she almost got killed? Yeah, you remember, I remember that. Loved it. Giving a full 7-season recap of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yes, agreed.
I would love to have had Anya jump in and correct something that was correct but unflattering to her. You know what I mean? trying to rewrite history a little bit so she's hotter or something.
Yeah, and like I do like when she asks about his Ripper days. She says the Watcher Council was all stuffy old white men, and asked how he became a Watcher because, of his Ripper days, and he was not as stuffy as the rest of them. And she even mentions Buffy's first Watcher being murdered, and how maybe they sent him because they didn't want to risk sending someone respectable, which, like, I don't, and we love Giles. I love that he's not as stuffy as the other Watchers, but, like, I was like, that actually would track.
She's doing a full think piece. Like, she's made YouTube videos. I have no doubt.
She's like, hey, Giles, I know you're in your 60s, right? Existential crisis month.
Indira and you are fighting for, like, the most Buffy YouTube videos, Zach.
Oh, my God.
There you go. It's like the Naomi Cannibal of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. If you're familiar with that YouTube channel, it's a fantastic one.
Just out here being like, fish, what were they called? The fish boys on the swim team. Problematic.
Indira definitely has a Patreon, Ian, and you're battling against her for that Patreon.
I'm like, damn it, Zach, she has more subscribers than me again. I got close, but then she tripled.
She updated this morning. Got my powers.
I'm like, well, how am I going to fucking compete with that? And I do like that she asks about Faith. And I like that Giles is like kind of like humoring her, and then he's like, later, please. And he's
like, no, please, now.
I'm like, no, Giles, tell me what she's doing right now. Tell me the last time you talked to me.
Can we call her?
Does she have Find My Location on?
Can we just does she have a secret Finsta? Just like show me something, Giles. Come on, please.
Oh my God, Faith has an OnlyFans account. She's only posted once, but she's making a lot of money.
She does a lot of promise pay-per-views and never fulfills, but collects the coin.
God, yeah. Yes, that is correct. And you know what? I would love to see Faith as this like making like wild amounts of money with like a shitty OnlyFans that she's posted once too. Like I would love
and
that.
It's a $40 subscription price. Yes, base price.
So yeah, I find that. I'm glad that landed for you, Zach, because I actually was wondering if that would have been too much for you.
No, not enough. Not enough.
She even mentions how they handled Buffy and Faith, blah, blah, blah. And then someone knocks at the door, and it is Spike. And he thought they were on their way to go through the porthole to get Giles. And I liked Indira saying, Spike, hi, did you miss me? Because that would be me. I would be trying to endear myself to him immediately, but also trying to suck his dick.
Spike is a softie, though. So, like, he
is.
He warms quick.
Well, this is, I mean, and I do feel like that tracks for him, right? Especially post-season 7, right?
He didn't spend his time whimpering and eating rats in the alleyway. He assimilated to society, which is fair.
And he put up with potentials and Dawn. And he was like a fun pal.
That's true.
And he's got a soul now. He's got a soul.
Yes, and again, as mentioned, Andrew. He knows how to handle a precocious team.
If he can handle a gay man made of anxiety, he can handle a precocious
team. Oh my God,
team.
Not a gay man made of anxiety.
Zach, that is your favorite. Because you love me, goddammit.
Oh my God, okay, Onyanga's voice just came in here. I think I'm looking around.
God, where are we? Oh, Spike like even says he's trying to pass her off to Giles. And I did like even though it's like alt reality, I liked the Anya and Cordelia like reunited hug. I don't know. I'm like, yes, these are two like very good friends.
Yeah. I mean, I do think like out of successes, they're painting Cordelia, Anya, and Tara as having a history has been successful.
Yeah. I would agree with that too. And I do like Clem being like, is anyone relieved I'm alive? And Indira says, I am. Like, she's so cute.
At this point, I was just like, okay, where's the fucking compass? Like, let's everybody sit down, hold hands. Let's do this.
Yeah. End of it's like the Kingdom Hearts end of mission cutscene. You're like, this is 30 seconds.
It kind of felt a little bit like the end of season 4 in when they're doing the whole thing with Buffy.
Wait, before we get to that beat, I also do love Giles being shook seeing Cordelia. And I love the moment when he says, like, you know, your Giles must be so proud. And she says he would have been. And Giles, this is a moment when I'm like, good, they didn't need to give us the exposition. We get it. Like, Giles understands that the version of him in that universe is dead. We understand it. And Giles is just like nods.
I don't love it. I love that it's put in here, and I love that they again, successes. They were successful with doing what they just set out to do for that little moment. I feel a little top away with Giles having been Cordelia's watcher and that they had a relationship. I feel jealous. I feel jealousy.
I kind of wish that we got more characters that had a living doppelganger in the other universe.
Yeah.
There was a lot of like, your doppelganger is dead or we're never going to meet
Snyder.
Oh my God.
Snyder as Cordelia's Wesley.
All right. Well, the podcast has been fun. That's it for Slayerfest 98. Don't go to
I'm just trying to add to the podcast. I'm trying to add to the Audible series pitch we're going to do.
It would have been Flutie, damn it.
They canceled it now. I'm sorry. No Whopper.
So can one of you explain the compass? Because I had fucking no clue.
I'm picturing Prince Caspian in the compass of wardrobe lines. Whatever the hell that movie was is what I was picturing, but I don't fucking know. Sure, it's a compass, and I don't think we're going to see it again this whole series.
Yeah, that's what
I think we get like magical artifacts in the show that do what a magic spell could conceivably do, but they execute it really well. Like, it's a really well-made spell stuck on this object. Because
sure.
The sense that we get is that magic is just like up to the person doing it to engineer it correctly, and like Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
So then give us the fucking mummy hand. Where is the mummy hand?
Ooh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But in any event, I get them being like, all right, well, let's go get a shortcut thing off the shelf that we know will work.
Yeah.
But again, the whole like magic works one way in one universe and the other. Like, I don't think that is. I don't think it ever gets used. And I also just don't think it's like being used or explained really well. Like, magic is chaotic here. Like, again, this just could have been cut. Like, there's so much time being spent on this stuff that like, I don't think adds a lot.
Yeah.
But again, once it's done, it's done.
Yes.
I don't know why this had to be the setup. Like, it just seems like a lot to keep track of.
And it's fine. Fling us, because I wanted to get to this new reality. So I was like, by any means necessary, sure. The compass, put me on like a little sailboat, however you need to fucking do it, right? I will just fling me out there.
Sailboat. Like, did they get the way Barbie does? Like,
oh my God.
They could have, okay? Just drove out of Sunnydale, out of their Sunnydale.
Kate McKinnon's like,
I want them to
do
the like Willy Wonka style boats.
So yes, as they're about to do it, everyone's going to go, but Clem and Giles are going to stay behind. And I'm glad that they didn't, because I was like, oh man, I want them to go on the adventure too. I was glad that they do go on the adventure, because I really was like, oh, they probably couldn't get those actors for the rest of the time. But nope. And then Anyanka bursts through the magic box of doors, and
ain't nobody scared of Anyanka at this point. I'm not scared of her anymore.
I'm like, what are you gonna do? Stand there while we do the spell? Great. Watch.
I heard her say in this episode, it burns. It burns. I'm like, shit.
Boo earns.
They were saying, she was saying boo earns.
Give us Pazuzu. Like, this is just not doing it.
She does this. She interferes with the spell somehow, and then everyone in the room gets sucked into the spell. Right?
Love it. Yes, titillated. Can't wait to go to the
great sound effect too.
Yeah, I was just about to say that is a thing they're doing really well by like telling us they're going through a portal by using like the noise.
Yeah. well designed. I've heard people complain that the fight scenes are too long and that they can't imagine them. And yeah, sure, whatever. Maybe we'll make them shorter. But they do. I'm not going to hear a single word against the sound production of this. It all sounds exactly like the TV show, yet glossed up.
Yeah.
And beautifully produced on what must be a much lower budget. So like everyone if you've never done sound design or edited an audiobook, like with multiple voices, like you can shut the fuck up forever. I would rather edit a film. It is so crazy to do. So good for them, honestly.
And I want you all to know that my last note for this episode is because, we get Anya yelling, "The compass, get the compass," but then they all just get sucked in, that I said, I hope they go to the land without shrimp.
Don't say anything else. Nothing else. Okay. Where can everybody find you?
Wait, we gotta do our Clem. I just wanted you to know that was my last note. But
no, nothing but shrimp. Just piles and piles. Anya swimming in shrimp. Clem's having anaphylactic shock.
So, what was your favorite scene, Zachary?
I did like the beginning more. I didn't like Giles's reaction, but I think Olivia was a welcome addition, and I kind of wish they would have kept her around a tiny bit more.
Yeah, like I get it that she couldn't go on the mission because we already have like a stacked house. Like there's definitely a lot of like cooks in the kitchen, and I don't know where she would have fit with that many, but I think she's such a welcome addition.
One-shot Olivia side adventure, which happened simultaneous to this, but is completely separate, and Giles will never know about.
Well, let's do the wedding first, okay? Let's introduce her really nicely, give her something really cool to do, right?
Ryan, what was your favorite scene?
I liked Clem eating monsters. Delightful.
Mine was Indira asking Giles all the like Buffyverse history questions. I loved that. All right, and what is an outfit we pictured for this episode? Do we have, I mean, they're kind of like would be in the same outfits we've been picturing because they wouldn't have time to change, but does anyone have anything that they pictured?
I think Drusilla is, like Vampire Queen Drusilla, at this point is wearing something so drag and intricate, so completely impractical, that is also easily torn off. So in my imagination, it's like this regal looking, like maybe suit with like lots of detail work, like beading. It's black or dark blood red, and her hair is mostly wig. It's mostly extensions. But that's in universe. Tara magically did it, but it's fine. And her nails are insane, like just like Niecy Nash on claws level, like heavy to pick up, hard to lift her own hands as a vampire. That's what I'm picturing. And it's a total slay. And then when she rips it all off, what's under there? Silk nightie. Silk nightie that she fights in.
All right.
That's it.
I like that. I like it. I accept that. I've been trying to think of, because you well know this is where my brain goes, I've been like, I want to do a bunch of different pictures like once we put out the finale. And I've been like, I was trying to think of what Drew would be in. Because I think what you said is correct. It's like a version of what she would have worn, but like bigger and like draggy.
Business lady a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah. Zach, do you have any?
Just to give myself some excitement, I like to imagine that Anyanka shows up, enters any scene in a new outfit. She's got the highest wardrobe budget of the show. So I picture her showing up at the end here in a Lady Gaga Chromatica ball, like a veiny, bloody latex sort of number.
Zach, ever since you said what you pictured her in the first, was it the first episode? Yeah, the first episode. That's what I've been picturing, like Scarlet Witch.
It's just the first scene. It changes. She's into theatrics.
Love it. So I want to paint what I think Anya would wear, because I've been using a specific figure for her, but I do think I picture her wearing something akin to what she, sorry to bring up a sore subject, what she dies in Chosen, where it's like,
okay, thank you,
but like a little bit more adult. So it's like a jacket with like a pink shirt, but like the jacket's maybe like a more like adult blazer type thing.
I need to be really clear that Anya has committed to skinny jeans and will not be updating those jeans.
Same.
She is high-waisted, skinny jean girly, and she's right. It looks great on her. And in photos in 10 years, it will look great on her. However, she will constantly be engaging in discourse with the young people about how she is not giving. She waited thousands of years for the technology to have a skinny jean. She will not be giving it up.
She's like, easily. I look hot. This is what I'm wearing. All right. What grade do we give this episode, Ryan?
I'm going to give it a C+, because the excitement from the first 3 chapters that would paper over anything that I wasn't absolutely drop dead in love with has waned. Okay. But it's not bad. It's just something we had to get through to get to the next few chapters that are great.
Zachary?
I'll do a solid B. And that explains it.
I give a B minus. So look at us. We got the whole B minus, C plus. Thank you both for doing this. I have been really loving discussing this, especially with the two of you. And I just feel like the three of us, are we
Cordelia, Anya, and Tara?
We are. My mood swings are definitely evil Tara and good Tara.
Oh my gosh.
We're the charmed ones. See, I did it again.
Wow, I love it. But I want to pick which one I am first. And I want to be Piper.
I don't remember which one's Piper.
Okay, well, you don't get to pick then. Ryan will pick for you.
Which one's Rose McGowan?
I'm Paige. I already took it.
Oh, damn it.
Oh my God, Ian, not even up for debate. You are 100% Phoebe. That's not even like the most anxious one.
Which one is Phoebe
She's
woman?
got premonitions, Alyssa Milano.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, then great.
Also levitation powers, and at every opportunity that the show presents her, she just does a Buffy fight scene. So.
Yes, there you go. I remember watching a rerun with my mom, and I was like, when did she learn like Buffy fight skills? And my mom was like, she does it sometimes.
Y'all, you have to realize that the audible drama for Charmed is coming after this.
Oh my God.
Holly Marie Combs is ready.
Yeah.
Rose McGowan and Alyssa Milano wouldn't even need to be in the same
room. They never need to see each other again.
Oof.
Wow.
God.
Wow.
Well,
all right.
Thank you both for doing this. Thank you all for listening. The nice feedback we've been getting is that everyone loves our excitement, which is very nice.
Yay!
And if you like Slayerfest 98, you can find us on all podcasting platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Please go follow us on YouTube. And if you want to follow us on social media, we are at SlayerFestX98. If you want to follow me, I'm at ENXCarlos. Ryan, where can everyone find you and your stuff?
If you haven't even heard me plug this yet at this point, how committed could you be? But go to youtube.com/@Ryho, that's RYHO, where I fight the real life monsters of the week, or, every quarter in our universe. In drag. It's fantastic, if I do say so.
And Zachary?
Horror podcast I have with Ian Carlos Crawford here, and you can search My Bloody Judy for that. You can also search me at AZB or Adventures of Zach and B. I have a new Patreon page at patreon.com/AZB+. And yeah.
Where Zach will be posting all of our nudes for you all to see on Patreon.
Yes, there's already a few. They have 2 likes, so we need a few more likes on those nudes, guys. Okay, don't embarrass us.
Mine have 1 thumbs down, so give Ian some self-esteem.
I didn't even know that was possible, but I'm looking at it, I guess.
But thank you all for doing this, and we will talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.